Howdy, my name is Austin Sherburne. I want to talk to you all about living a lifestyle of love. Before I get started, I want to let you know that you can skip to this timestamp for a summary of the video. All summaries are posted to our TikTok and Instagram accounts. All right, let's get started. The passage I'm gonna be reading out of today is Romans chapter 13, verse 8, which reads, "Owe no one anything except to love each other, for the one who loves another has fulfilled the law." We can constantly be tempted to want to be bitter towards others, and we can always be tempted to resent others, not want to love them, especially if we already don't like them. This world we live in actively promotes an attitude to hold grudges against people and to constantly hold your interest above everyone else's. And a lot of times when something minor happens, we're easily encouraged to get angry and resent someone or something for whatever happened. And a lot of times what happened doesn't even call for how upset we get over them. It might be that gas prices increased again or that our favorite football team lost another game. But then there are a little bit more personal things, such as when someone says something hurtful to you, or someone is just being plain annoying just to get under your skin and make you mad. And I know exactly how that feels because my little brothers do it to me all the time. Uh, it could be a teacher or a coach that's just out to get you, whether you deserve it or not. We don't know, but it's the more personal confrontations that get us the most riled up. And a lot of times, we'd rather love the people that we like. It's a whole lot easier to love and forgive those that we like, and we'd like to leave the loving them part to someone else, to someone who actually likes them. But let me ask you something though. Does Jesus say only love those who love you? Does the Bible teach to only love those that you get along with, that are nice to you? Of course not. Jesus commands that we love all people. I know this is going to sound like just another sermon about loving others, but I think that if we look at it from not just as a simple action, but as a whole lifestyle to be lived, that it kind of reveals itself in a whole new way. And the first thing I want to talk about is the debt that is owed. In the first part of this verse, it says, "Owe nothing to anyone except to love one another." This means that we don't have to impress anyone by making a bunch of money or trying to do all these things to impress people, to show people that you're a good person, right? Or anything like that. We don't have to, all we have to do for people is to love them. And I know that sounds really simple, but it's a conscious decision we have to make every single day when we wake up. And a lot of times we get into this mindset of thinking to ourselves that we have to perform a certain way for people to like us and accept us, or that we have to make a certain amount of money for people to like us, or that we just have to conform to what everyone else is doing and believe what they believe so that we'll be accepted into certain circles that we want to be accepted in. Remember, Romans chapter 12, verse 2 says to not do that. The reason we owe people our love is because that's what God so graciously gives to us every single day. And we're supposed to be imitators of him at all times. If you look at 1 John chapter 4, verse 19, it says, "We love because he first loved us." The reason we can love is because Jesus first gave us this love, and this love cannot be hidden. All right, our love comes out of a fountain of gratitude that is given to us by God. Think of it like this: why wouldn't I want to share this love that I've received from God to everyone that I come in contact with on a day-to-day basis? Going back to what I was saying earlier, we have to love everyone, not just because they're nice to us and because we get along, right? Our love for others is not conditional on how they behave, because if our love, or if God's love was conditional on how we behaved, we wouldn't receive it at all. Because we fail God every single day of our lives, and we don't even deserve his love. But he still gives it to us every single day, no matter what. And that's the most pure and simple explanation on why we owe everyone our love. And it's because he first loved us. And when we talk about the debt that is owed, this isn't just a one-time thing where we love someone once and then we're good, or we love someone once a day and then we're good. Okay, this is a debt that we're never going to be truly finished off paying, and that we're going to try finish off paying for the rest of our lives. But even in doing that, that's not even going to scratch the surface on the love that Jesus gives to us. The second part I want to talk about was, how do we live this lifestyle of love, right? You can tell yourself, well, I know it's important to love others, but how do I actually go about living it? How do I go about doing it? My favorite way to explain it, and how it is explained to me, is to humble yourselves at all times. All right. Now, when I say this, I don't mean to think of yourself less or put less value on yourself. Instead, when I say that, I mean to look at others more and put their interest above yours, or in simple terms, not putting yourself down, but lifting others up. Going back to the idea of being examples of Christ, in Philippians chapter 2 tells us that he humbled himself even to the point of death on a cross. All right, he put our needs above his every single day. And even when he was about to be crucified, he could have backed out, but he still didn't, because he knew that we needed him and his sacrifice. So he went through with it. Also in Matthew chapter 23, verse 12, it says that whoever exalts himself will be humbled, and whoever humbles himself will be exalted. Whether it be in this life or when we go to be with Jesus, our service to others will pay off at some point. Some everyday examples of what we can do are listening to someone talk. A lot of times people just need to feel heard. Another one is just simple acts of service, whether it be carrying someone's groceries, mowing an elderly person's lawn, or just holding the door for someone. It could be being patient when someone is irritating you. It could be letting go of grudges quickly and choosing not to hold past wrongs against people. It could be sharing generously, whether it be your money, your food, your time. We can give freely without expecting anything in return. Um, Another one could be hospitality, to be hospitable. Invite someone who maybe doesn't get invited often to places. A big one is praying for others, especially with the person that you're praying for. Um, you can bear people's burdens, even if you can't fix whatever they're going through. Just being present shows love. And one of the most loving things you can do is to share the gospel with someone, even if you really don't want to, and if it like really makes you uncomfortable. If we look at 1 John chapter 3 verse 18, it says, "Little children, let us not love in word or talk, but in deed and in truth." A lot of times the most loving things we can do for people is not what we say for them, but what we do for them. What I'm trying to get at here is that there's no shortage of loving things that we can do for people. There's loving things that we can do for people every single day, all the time, and they're always just around the corner. Uh, there are always opportunities, and we just have to pay attention and seize the moment. But there is one thing I have to add before I start to close. We don't do these things for our own glory or to lift us up in any way. All right, we do this purely to glorify God and to be a living example of what He has done for us. Okay, Matthew chapter 5 verse 16, it says, "In the same way, let your light shine before others, so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven." When people see our good works, they should associate it with our relationship with God, right, and not with self-exaltation. Because remember, we do everything for the glory of God. And just a side thing, I don't even have it in my notes or anything. It's just there's a quote I heard once and it really stuck with me, and it goes something like this: "The measurement of a Christian is not measured by the height of his grasp, but by the depth of his love." Basically saying that it doesn't matter about how much you know about the Bible or how much or how smart you are with studying the scriptures. It matters about how much you love others. If you can take the examples of the Pharisees knew a lot about the Bible. They knew a lot about the old Mosaic laws and everything about the Old Testament, but a lot of them did not live it out. But someone who maybe doesn't know as much about the Bible, but they love people to the fullest extent, that is being better than knowing a lot about the Bible, if you get me. All right, but to kind of wrap things up, um, this world actively promotes this idea that we should always, our needs should always be met first before anything else. And let me tell you what the Bible says, though. In Philippians chapter 2, verses 3 through 4, it says, "Do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility count others more significant than yourselves. Let each of you look not only to his own interest, but also to the interests of others." We should constantly be humbling ourselves and thinking about what we can do for other people versus what they can be doing for us. All right? If we're to live as examples of Christ, this should be a top priority for us because He did that every single day. And we didn't even deserve His love, yet He so graciously gave it to us. And in return, there's a fountain of gratitude that just kind of boils up in our soul that yearns to follow Jesus and to serve others. All right, that's why when it says in Romans chapter 13, verse 8, that we owe love to everyone, is because Christ first loved us. That's all that I have for you guys. Thank you for watching, and God bless.